I read that Muhammad had allowed men in war to take already married women as their wives. And I said, well, surely there must be some kind of context for that. Surely Muhammad wouldn't encourage the of married women by his own people. If he had the command, surely he would have stopped them. And I asked questions, and I'm sorry. And I was heartbroken to even learn that. Sir, please do not mistake my tears for manipulation.
No.
The Quran portrays Muhammad as a peaceful and mighty man who enacted lots of mercy and was the true man of faith, the true Muslim, the man that all Muslims should emulate.
I would ask you, for example, okay, what is the basis for you're actually making that claim? Because you found the Muslim scholarly response inadequate, or because the response doesn't exist. So let's give you one example about these issues about the Prophet marrying someone in the battlefield, and you amounted to as the example you just highlighted a little bit. Where did you actually study this from, and which scholarly material have you read in response by the Muslims? Then we can continue.
Yes, so Imam, oh man, I'm sorry, I read it out of a book of a commentary on the Quran written by Imam. I'm sorry. I really do wish I was and you're right. I think a lot of me is mistaken to think of it as a rape.
No.
But
where have you read and the responses by the Muslims? Because most of my research for the for Muslim academic thought comes from books that I've read and imams that I've spoken to. So which particular primary sources have you read?
Studied it, though.
No, which particular books primarily Islamic sources have you read?
Commentaries.
Like?
I don't have them with me. I'm sorry.
No, think about something you've read, because if it's something that's convinced you should have read. Is it from, for example, Imam Jabir al-Tabari? You know, he's written a Tafsir al-Tabari, but only part of it is translated in English. So unless you have a very good knowledge of Arabic language, you don't. Okay, so it couldn't have been from there. Ibn Kathir is available, but he doesn't mention any of these things that you say that you tend to rape. So it cannot be from there. Baidawi, as far as I know, part of it's translated, it cannot be from there. Zamakhshari, likewise, coming from there. Ar-Razi, not from there. So I can give you all of these names, and you won't find anything that you say you have read is from there. So it cannot be from our primary material. The response by the Muslims you've read from which scholarly academic sources have you read?
You've got me. I cannot cite my sources.
So you see, when somebody is convinced, our conviction must come from based on knowledge rather than emotion.
You're right.
I can cry, like some people do you're a passionate individual. You know what? May God make you a strong person, and may God guide you to Islam and make you even stronger. But these are our emotional basis for accepting something, right?
Okay, so yeah, I have encountered. Wait, have I? In this topic, have I encountered question about this topic? Because the one that I have addressed in length is about the age of Aisha, about slavery, about the captive of war. Have I think I have addressed some comments, but not at length and not in depth. But anyway, normally, because for example, people read somewhere, and of course it's definitely not primary source, and they never try to read the answer to that from Islamic sources. And that's where, and of course in this video she began with I'm not going to highlight the cry because human have emotion, but what triggered the cry is supposedly conviction about something, and that is supposedly based on something. But when she asked where is it from, she cannot pinpoint it. So that's the problem, right? And in this, because in my comment section there are interesting comments that seem to have certain citation, but it is interesting to me, at least, when the commenter, normally Christians, using sources that is not relevant to me, right? For example, from Shia sources, which I'm also having a problem with Shia sources, right? So when you bring that to counter or to paint or to depict as if that's my position, that is that's funny to me. That I'm not sure, because I have a tendency to look the funny things in stuff, right? So when people do such a thing, it's funny to me. But I think in an academic setting, in academic discourse, that's not funny. That's such a pity. That's such a, it brings down your credibility as someone who, can discuss in academic manner, anyways. So it ends there, this video. I do wonder, is there anyone that brought up this topic, because I have seen one that what was his name, I forgot, because he used to convert or revert to Islam for a certain while and then leave Islam back again, and the main thing that he have the issue with is with the regard to the captive of war. And yeah, so that's one significant video that I think have touched upon the subject. Other than that, anyway, so but yeah, that's the thing. If anyone want to bring such claim, and it's not just the claim, it's the implication of the claim that they depict, right? They say that the implication of this is this, and that is normally where Islam is painted in a very negative light. But when you cannot even establish that case, that's where meaning I'm not sure whether I should entertain, or because if I entertain and give my effort to explain things, whether it's even worth my effort and time, right? Because anyone who come across not willing and put the effort to scrutinize things, to think logically, etc., try to understand, normally they will continue their life as such. And I come to, at this point in my life, I feel that those people, it's not my priority to give them time, right? Because there are a lot of other people who want to think, who want to ponder, who want the truth, etc., right? Anyway, with this, thank you for watching. See you next time.